today's certainly a nice day today. It's about 80 something. It was like 50 last week. Greta here. Greta Thumper. We're working on her today. I want to look at replacing the high pressure fuel pump that's under the frame rail down here. I've got an Edelbrock lower pressure pump we're gonna put in there and get that wired up and get this thing running on a new semi-new fuel system instead of the weak high pressure pump that's pretty much clapped out. Let's see, what do we smell like today? It just still smells like an old truck. I need to get some door seals for this old girl. It's upsetting that this truck is, the cab, except for right here, is in much better shape than old Betty over there. One pump should be good enough. Ago, this sat here for about a month, and I came out, cycled the fuel pump a little bit, let it purge any air, let it fill the carburetor back up, gave her maybe 1 or 2 pumps, and it fired right up. So I think we might be almost done with Betty. I've got a track bar kit, and we have some rear suspension stuff on the way. But once I get done with that stuff, we're gonna move on to collecting parts for this. So I think I am just gonna do the 5-speed swap. I already got a transfer case. Go on, get. Let's see what else. Yeah, I need everything to convert this to a 5-speed, pedals and stuff. So we'll get there. I'm gonna go move the daily. Go park this in its spot. And we'll get under there and see what we're working with on that fuel pump. Still don't know what that noise is, that clickety clackety. Forgot how beautiful this engine bay is turning out to be after all this work I've been doing to it. By the way, so I'm missing a core support bushing on this other side. I just took an alternator pulley. It actually came off this 3G. Stuck it between the frame and the core, and I might go see if I got a bolt and we'll just lock her down for now until I get a core support bushing kit for it. It's gonna need both sides, so it's definitely something I have to spend a little bit of money on. Anyways, I'm thinking what I'm gonna do, minus the fuel filter, everything else after it, I think we're just gonna get rid of the regulator altogether. The fuel pump that I have is an Edelbrock pump, and it puts out, I think, tops 7 PSI. So I think that'll be just fine for this carburetor. This one's to run at 6.5, but our pump runs between 6 and 7 or whatever it's spec'd out to. So I'll probably get rid of the regulator altogether, and then of course we'll keep this fuel filter here. So I'll probably take it off here, and then everything else, the return line and all that stuff, we're going to totally ixnay. Of course, I just got the engine nice and warmed up too. Isn't that great? Yeah, we'll leave this here. We're gonna take that fuel filter and off right here. Can you see? Can you see? You can see. I do smell antifreeze. Oh, that's right. This needs a heater core. Keep forgetting. So we got back here. What do we got back here? I'm not even gonna bother just gonna cut. Cut and remove. I guess we get to go underneath now and unhook the fuel lines and get the pump out of there. This AOD gots to go. So we're gonna leave this guy here for now. We're gonna undo our return line. I believe this is the return line, and this should be the feed, which we can easily identify by yanking on this one. And yeah, the top one's the feed. So I'll probably get a cap and cap off that front piece for the return, and then this is our return right here. So blue is feed, this is the return. This piece is going to come out all together, and we got our electrical connector there, which I want to do something a little different with. I ended up cutting the line because I couldn't get it out of the plastic clip. I was like, screw that. So I cut the line because we're getting rid of this. This mounting plate we're going to use. We're going to mount our new pump to it because we have plenty of real estate there. So we'll mount our pump to that. I believe this can come out now. You know, it's great. When you're under your truck and a piece of dirt goes right in your eye hole. Okay, we might get cut a little short today. I think I have just enough fuel line to make something work here. Got 5/16 hose here, but I'm gonna try and use 1/4 inch for whatever else we need. Hoping that this will be long enough to get to the carburetor, down to our fuel pump. If not, I'm gonna be a little upset. Because annoyingly, I actually need, no, I made this work before, but I need like a 3/8 up there at my fuel filter. The Edelbrock fuel filter that I got, annoyingly, is a 3/8, and then this pump here is like a 5/16. So you're like, why Edelbrock, why? And then we need to cut the plug off the other pump, and we're gonna attach that to here. We'll get a little wrench and tighten that down. Just tighten it until you can't get the wrench out. No, I'm just kidding. I just saw my friend AJ pulling his trailer. I think he had to go dump it. We gotta look at his Dodge, his rear end. I don't know if you could hear it, but it was whining. And here he is pulling a 5,000-pound trailer. Click. That'll be good. That, got that. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna solder that to our new pump. Plug her back into the truck. This connector's in really good shape. I'll probably clean it up. This is garbage now. Of course, there is half a gallon of gas still in there. Garbage. In fact, So we're gonna need this. Now, which way did this go? So this is the going to the engine. And this will mount on the frame like that. Yeah, this 4 to 7 psi is what this runs at. Flow, so we need to mount her something like that. So we'll mark that, drill some holes, and then that takes care of that. Save this for an autopsy later. Just mark the hole here. Get it close, you know. Okay. Front is that way. We got flow that way. Nice. These fasteners are both 11mm, and they came with this little guy. This tube is just about done. This is mighty convenient. We already have a bracket that we can attach this to. I made a post about this on my Facebook page, my personal one, and Facebook just says, oh, we'll let you know when this gets approved by the admin. I was like, admin? Like, what did I post this to? And I look, it's my page. Wasn't posting on anything else. Probably just a glitch. I think I just couldn't get the socket on. It is 11mm, so okay. I'll just snug that up. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna go in the garage here and we'll leave this a little long, I think. We'll go cut it off there. I'm going to solder this plug to here. That's good enough. There we go. We've got plenty of length. This is all heat soldered together, heat shrunk. Nice and neat. So now we got some friction tape here. Done. I'm gonna go mount this up in the frame, and I compared my new fuel line to the old one that was there for the feed. This is more than enough to reach the pump, so yeah, I'm excited. Well, surprisingly, I was able to complete this job with what I had. So we have our fuel line here. I put a little wrap on it so it looks a little nice. It's gonna come around here. I'm gonna zip tie it to the brake booster hose. And then it comes down right to under our fuel pump. Fuel pump's all plugged in. Runs along here, and this is where I wish I had my 5/16 or even a 3/8. I think 5/16 would have been more ideal. We can replace this later if it's a problem, but right now it ain't coming off. So I think eventually I am going to get rid of this. We really don't need it because we're going to be putting new fuel senders in, new in-tank pumps, and then new socks as well on there. And then we have a fuel filter here, and then we have another one at the carburetor. So fuel filtration's going to be pretty decent on this. And these things are kind of a pain in the ass, so I'm not even going to bother changing the filter in that. We're just going to completely get rid of it. But yeah, so that's done. I did turn the key. It fired right up, or at least the pump did. I have not tried actually starting it with this new pump, so we'll see what happens. We may have to add our regulator back in, If we do, not too bad. We got plenty of fuel line. I left this line here pretty long. In fact, it's like 4 feet long. I didn't even bother trimming it. So we got plenty of fuel in there. We can add a regulator in. Here's our cat, our kitty cat. Speaking of cats, when we get to do an exhaust on this, we're gonna get rid of the cats. Probably just cut them off right there and then get rid of that one, and then we're gonna do a exhaust kit. 2.5 inch single, and then past the axle it'll go to dual exhaust. I'm not gonna do true duals on this. I'm just gonna keep it simple. Cool, I'm glad we got that done. Might have to retire these clippers. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to get some new side cutters. Gotta put an order in the LMC truck for this old girl. I want to get a new hood cowl so this isn't getting as dirty. Let's see if it runs and see if we have any leaks. Why, it just fired right up. We've had a leak somewhere. The hose is dry. Oh. Forgot to take care of the return line. Let me take care of that real quick. Okay, the return line is completely gone. It is block capped off at the filter housing. We'll see how long those vacuum caps last. She just starts. You know, it'd be funny if that scraggly noise went away. I don't really hear that noise anymore. Do you think that was maybe like some pinging or something? Running pretty damn good, I'm happy. Someone that like honks at that house there. Or they might be honking at me saying, hey, screw you, Jimmy. Cool. So far I'm not hearing that scraggly noise. Maybe we'll know later. Because it used to not make that when I first got it. I hear you, I'm coming. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna work on this hot mess I got going on in here. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. We got no leaks. We got rid of the hokey pokey fuel regulator nonsense that I had going on down there. So we got rid of that high pressure fuel pump, which really was so wore out. It was only putting out, I think, on a good day with a full tank of gas, maybe 1.5 psi. We've done away with that. We have a fresh Edelbrock pump, which that was like, I think 40 or 50 bucks, maybe 60 at the O'Reilly's right off the shelf. Gonna be a sad day when they're gone. We're done with the fuel system. We got our new carburetor and intake and everything on, our new ignition system. We now have a fuel pump that puts out the right volume and pressure for this carburetor. I'll tune on it a little bit later when I get her nice and hot. And so far it runs really good. I mean, it's probably as good as it's gonna get, because I really don't know the condition of the rest of the engine. But yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with that install. It worked out great. We've got it mounted right on that plate. It's solid. It doesn't shake, vibrate, rattle, roll. And it does have a lift pump in the tank feeding it, so it shouldn't have to work that hard. The other thing is, I know some people always tell me, Jimmy, you can just run the in-tank pump and get rid of the high pressure pump. Yeah, probably could, but I really didn't want to do that. I wanted to use them as a lift pump so that my actual pressure pump doesn't have to work very hard, and we get the right volume and pressure of fuel that we need. I will probably come back later and add a fuel pressure gauge so we can see where we're at. If we have to, we can add the regulator back in. I do need to get a new mount for it. I don't know where the mount went. I think it probably threw it away sometime. I don't know why. But I would like to mount it somewhere on the firewall there, and that way I'm in a spot where we can easily adjust it. But yeah, so we're all good. The only thing I might change later, well, I will change, is get rid of that filter housing. And when we end up dealing with the fuel tanks, we're probably going to dumb those down and block off the return lines, because we will no longer need those. So all the extra return lines will be gone, and we'll put new fuel line in and replace all the nylon stuff. Just kind of get it to our standard. My standard is not that stuff, because you really can't work with it unless you have the right fittings and tools and whatnot. My next thing for this truck is to continue collecting 4-wheel drive, not 4-wheel drive, but 5-speed swap parts. So I may go to the junkyard and pick up a few things. With the hydraulics, I think I'm going to get new, but I definitely need a motor plate, and I could just get that new. It's going to cost me around $1,000 for everything I need for hydraulics and the clutch stuff, the flywheel. We're going to get a new starter. I'm actually going to put a newer style, like a 90 and up, maybe like a 94, because it'll work with that M50D. I'll get a newer starter, and we're going to change I'm going to get rid of this. So we're just going to have the starter, and then this relay thing we're going to hit out of here. And then we'll just kind of slowly pick on her. I think this summer I definitely want to start tearing the interior out and get her up in the air, pull the transmission out, and start swapping it over to a 5-speed. And then after the 5-speed gets put in, then we're doing drive shafts. I'm gonna have 2 brand new drive shafts made for this. So this is gonna take a little bit of potentially help. If you guys want to help out, my PayPal link is down below in the description. You know, send a couple bucks my way so we can help me get this thing underway, because I got a whole Betty over here that I'm working on too, so stuff costs money. I'm not begging, I'm just saying, hey, if you guys want to help out. Because eventually, I think this truck, I'm probably not going to sell it, but I'm not going to keep it. I'm on the fence of what I'm going to do. We may do possibly a giveaway, possibly, but I don't know. I got a lot of stuff planned for this truck. 5-speed swap is next. I want to do some stuff in the interior, like sound system. We're gonna do a sound system in it, and just you know, LED lights and stuff. We're gonna really cherry this truck out and make it a good, reliable driver. Good heat, air conditioning, of course. Everything's gonna work, minus the cruise control on these. I usually boot these out. It's kind of unreliable, especially we're gonna have a little bit of sort of not so factory stuff going on here. But anyways, I'm done blabbing. I'm done for the day. today went well. It runs, it just fires right up. Well, it's, ever since we put the Edelbrock on there, it's been firing up no problem. But yeah, we have our fuel system completely resolved, and now it's just moving on to other important things that need to be dealt with. Oh yeah, we got to completely rebuild the front axle. It needs ball joints, we got to do tie rod ends. I may put a limited slip differential in the front, so, and while we have that apart, we'll put new U-joints in and all that kind of fun stuff. That'll all be later. I imagine I'm probably going to be doing this stuff for a while on this truck. This year, maybe next year. Just depends on how quick I can get parts. So anyways, gotta go, tubes. Thank you for watching. Check out the links down below. We'll catch you next video. I don't know what the next video is going to be. I probably won't tell you because I change my mind on things all the time. So with that, I'm going to shut the hell up. See y'all later.